Heidi, Part 8. "What milk do you get?" Heidi asked. "I get it from my own goat, that speckled one over there." Heidi obeyed, and when the bowl was empty, he filled it again. Breaking off a piece of bread for herself, she gave Peter the rest, saying, "You can eat that. I have had enough." Peter was speechless with surprise. Thanking her, he ate the most luxurious meal he had ever had in all his life. Heidi was watching the goats in the meantime, and asked Peter for their names. A small white goat called Snow. Heidi had her arms around its head. The little goat pressed close to her and became perfectly quiet. "I am coming up with you every day." Snow rubbed her head against Heidi's shoulder. When Peter had finally finished his dinner, he joined Heidi. The little girl had been watching Sean and Braille. By now the day had passed, and the sun was already sinking down behind the mountains. Sitting on the grass, Heidi says, "Oh, look! Everything is rosy now. Oh, look at the mountain over there, with the snow and the sharp peaks. Oh, see how beautiful it looks, as if many roses were growing on those cliffs." "It will be the same again tomorrow," Peter reassured her. "Come now, we have to go home." When Peter had called the goats together, they started downwards. Heidi walked quietly by Peter's side, thinking over all the new things she had seen. At last, they reached the hut. They found the grandfather waiting for them. Heidi ran up to him, and the two goats followed. Peter called to her, "Come again tomorrow? Good night." Heidi assured him that she would come, and finding herself surrounded by the goats, she hugged Snow a last time. When Peter had left, and Heidi went to her grandfather. "Oh, grandfather, it was so beautiful. I saw the roses and many flowers. I bring them to you." With that, Heidi shook them out of her apron. "They are made to bloom in the sun and not be shut up in an apron," said the grandfather. "I go now into the shed to get your milk." Heidi described all the wonderful happenings of the day, and especially about the wonderful sunset. She asked how it came about. "The sun is saying good night to the mountains, and throws its most beautiful rays to them, so that they may not forget him till morning." Heidi was pleased with this explanation. She could hardly wait to see the sun's good-night greeting again. It was time now to go to bed, and Heidi slept soundly all night. She dreamed that the little Snow was happy on the glowing mountains, with many roses blooming around her.